Welcome back to day 26 of the 30-day split challenge. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're almost done with the split challenge already. Okay, number one, I want to ask you, how are you feeling? Are you feeling stronger? Are you feeling more flexible? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling really proud of yourself? 26 days is a long time to commit to yourself and to your practices and to just being in your body and feeling all the feels. So number one, I want to celebrate you for making it this far. I can't wait to continue the split challenge together. And I just want to take that extra moment of gratitude for you showing up for yourself and to just celebrate you and all your hard work. So, all right, I'm going to turn my AC unit off. I'm going to make sure that we're live on YouTube, and then we're going to start. So go ahead and just come to the top of your mat. Also, pro tip, turn your AC off if you want to get more warm. You can even wear sweatpants. Just go ahead and start grounding. Maybe you decide to wiggle your arms and your legs, shaking out any tension. I'm going to put my hair up and get nice and ready and grounded. Start centering your awareness in your body and start finding some stillness. Maybe imagining that you're drawing energy from the center of the earth all the way up through your feet, all the way up to and through the crown of your head. Let's start by taking 3 deep breaths in here. Biggest breath of the day, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Another big breath, breathing in nice and big. Big exhale. And last big inhale. Fill up the lungs. Fully arriving here today, and then exhaling, releasing anything that's not serving you for the next 30 minutes. We're going to start breathing in and out through the nose. On the next inhale, taking the arms out and up. And exhaling, fold, hinge at the hips, flat spine. Inhaling, halfway lift. You can bend your knees in this forward fold if you want to. Exhaling, fold again. And go ahead and just take your feet about hip distance apart. We're going to hang out in a forward fold for just a couple moments. Allowing your breaths to lengthen. Letting your arms hang heavy, or maybe you grab opposite elbows. Maybe you bend your knees a little or a lot so that you can feel your thighs resting with your belly. Maybe you straighten your knees a bit, no matter where you are, remembering to keep a flat spine. Maybe you shake your head no, and then nod your head yes. Maybe you take your hands down by your side and take a gentle twist to the right or to the left. Maybe you just rock side to side with your arms crossed. We're going to take about 3 more breaths in this forward fold, so allowing yourself to make it whatever you need it to be. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then on the next breath, let's go ahead and just slowly roll all the way up to standing. Slow like zombie till we get to the top. Maybe doing a head roll, going one way and then the other way. Let's take our shoulders up to the ears, big breath, and then exhaling, drawing them down the back. We're going to do that 3 times. Inhaling up, exhaling back and down. One more. Good. And let's take our feet together again. I want you to take your arms up. We're going to move all the way to seated through a chair pose. So go ahead and bend the knees. And when I look down at my knees, I try to make sure that I can still always see my toes. We're going to come all the way to sit on the ground. If you can, this is like a mobility challenge. So if you need to use your hands, feel free. If you need to pick up some momentum before you come up, feel free to do that as well. But we're going to move up and come all the way to stand, right? So we're going to do that 3 times. Breathing in, exhaling, come to a squat, come all the way to sit, and then come all the way up. Last one. Good. Let's go ahead and take our hands down by our sides. Let's shake everything out. Take a nice big inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, heel toe the feet out to the side and meet in a yogi squat. Now you can hang out in this squat here if you want to, taking as many breaths as you need. Or you can move a little bit more, moving up and down as we take our toes forward, meeting in a forward fold. Inhaling, coming back into the yogi squat. This is just a really good way for me to begin warming up my muscles. And maybe you're not folding as deep. Maybe you're kind of just staying something like this. And that's okay. We'll do about 3 more. And you can either hang out in your forward fold or your yogi squat if you don't want to move as much. For me, this motion really invites a lot of fire in my muscles. It gets my heart rate nice and elevated. And whenever you're done, meet in a forward fold, plant your hands, and let's step back to a down dog. When we get in this down dog, go ahead and lift up high on the toes. Big inhale. And then big exhale, draw the heels down to the ground even if they don't touch. Again, big breath in. Big breath out. Good, let's bend our knees. Take them to a hover. 3, 2, 1. Come back up to a down dog. Big inhale here. Big exhale, side out. Let's do that again. Nice big breath in. On the exhale, bend the knees. Take them to a hover for 3, 2, 1. Come back up into a down dog. Inhale. Big exhale, side out. Good. Let's take our left leg up to the sky. Point and flex through that ankle. You can make some circles here. We're going to bend the left knee, open up the hip. And while you're opening the hip, try to keep your shoulders nice and square to the front of the mat. We're not splitting everything open like this. We're going to make some hip circles here. Just inviting some movement in that hip joint. And then we'll take those hip circles the opposite direction. Extend back, 3-legged dog. And then exhale, drop that knee or foot between the hands. We're going to walk our hands over to the right and meet in a Skandasana or skater. And we've been doing this the last couple of days. We've been making a very similar flow just because I want your brain and your body to start feeling really familiar in these poses so that you can allow yourself to get deeper and deeper into the stretch. If we did something new every single day, you'd be like, what are we doing? And you'd be a little more conscious about how to move and less conscious about how the movement feels. So you can stay here in the Skandasana. You can stay for as long as you want, or you can move back and forth between the two sides. You can keep your hands on the ground. Maybe yours looks like this if you're not as mobile, and that's okay. Which, by the way, if you have more mobility, you'll find that these poses are a lot easier. But if you don't have as much mobility, you'll find that you're working a lot more. In your yogi squat specifically, in these Skandasana specifically, and the more you're working, the more warm you will be. So the deeper you'll be able to get into your stretch too. So one thing I'm doing is I'm making sure that my extended leg is nice and active with the toes facing up towards the face. Something to keep my knees and my legs protected and safe. Let's do one more, and we'll meet in a wide-legged forward fold. Lift up halfway when you get there. Big inhale. And then exhaling, you can fold. And when you get into the pose, I want you to just bring your awareness to your body. Bring your awareness to the muscles that are stretching. And I want you to just really feel into them. Breathing into the backs of your legs. And sending your breath to your hips. Allowing that breath to gently ripple down the spine. Finding peace and relaxation. And on the next breath in, we're going to come all the way up to standing. You can bend your knees a little bit till you get to the top. When you get there, draw your shoulders up to the ears. Big inhale, and then exhale, drawing them down the back. We'll do that again. Big breath. Exhaling. Drawing them back and down. I hope you can still hear me because people just came to mow my lawn or something, or the neighbor's lawn or something like that. Mercury is in the Gatorade. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our back leg forward a couple steps. We're going to turn our front leg to the front of the mat, and we're going to meet in a pyramid pose. So what I always like to say is imagine that there's some lasers shooting off your hips. And if there were lasers shooting off my hips, they'd be going that direction. I really want them to be squared to the front of my mat. So as I move my back foot in, I'm going to put my hands on my hips and draw my hips all the way forward. From here, I can think about having a tall spine leading with my heart as if someone was pulling a string on my heart. And something that will help us with that is just grabbing opposite elbows behind our backs. Take a nice big inhale here. And then on the exhale, we're going to just gently fold forward. Now, I want you to keep your weight evenly distributed between both of your feet. And I want you to just go ahead and gently lean all the way until you feel that stretch in your front hamstring. And once you feel that stretch, I want you to take a big inhale. And then exhale, just breathe that breath right into it. You may even find that as you inhale and you're lengthening your spine and your back, maybe your exhales take you deeper and deeper into the stretch. If you want to put your hands on blocks or on the ground instead, the choice is yours. You may do so. And while you're in this pose, I want you to just think about how the day we plant the seed is not the day we eat the fruit. When you have a desire, when you have a goal, when you have a manifestation, when you have something that you are ready to receive, first we ask. We say, I want that. Like how I wanted to press into a handstand. I've been wanting to do that for like literally, I'm not kidding you, 10 years. And I planted that seed. And then over the course of the last 10 years, I've taken several handstand classes, programs, attended workshops and things until one day, literally at the beginning of the split challenge, it just landed. Go ahead and gently come up halfway. And let's actually just plant our hands on the ground. We're going to step our right foot back to the back of the mat and meet in like a runner's lunge position. You can take your gaze up. You can come up onto your fingertips here. I want you to feel this stretch in the right front of the hip. Just go ahead and place that right foot down and just keep your gaze up. If this is like not that easy for you to do, you can place your hands on blocks. But a lot of these things that we have, that we desire, we got to ask first. We got to plant the seed. Some of them grow fast. Just breathe here. And we're going to move into a half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. So just go ahead and flex these left feet, draw the hips back, thinking right hip forward, left hip back here. And we're going to sit and breathe in this for like 5 or 10 breaths. But some of those seeds grow quickly and some of those seeds take a long, long time. Think about a tree, right? Imagine like an apple tree. How long does it take for an apple tree to become big enough to provide shade or big enough for you to eat the fruits off of them? Some of these things we build a foundation, like our yoga practice, just like having the experience of showing up on your mat enough times and like listening to your body, taking a class in person here or there, or just watching, following along on YouTube, the more you tune in with the guidance of a teacher, the more you'll be able to tune in without a teacher. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. You can keep your blocks or not. Now we're going to kind of floss back and forth between the Anjaneyasana and the Ardha Hanumanasana. So just kind of rock back and forth and let your head follow the movements. It's been really heavy on my mind lately that the day we plant the seed is not the day we eat the fruit. There's been so many things that I've asked for. I feel like I started my spiritual journey / my yoga practice / all of this stuff for me really started in 2016. Go ahead and take front foot to meet the back foot, meeting in an all fours position, and we're going to rock side to side, left and right. Make some hip circles, invite whatever movement you need. But all this stuff started for me in 2016. And at the time, I was asking for so much that I thought that they were not coming true. Go ahead and switch sides if you're going one way. I have literally looked in my little focus field journal, which is like a manifestation tool that I use. And I was looking in my focus field journal recently, and I saw one that said, my move is so easy and perfect. All my friends help me so much. It's so stress-free. Moving is fun. Now, we all know that moving is not necessarily fun. And I remember the time when I made that focus field journal, I was in a really chaotic time in life. I really needed to move. You can take a child's pose or rock your hips side to side, or you can come sit back on your heels. I'm going to make sure that I do a little ankle stretch here, so feel free to do that if you want to. And I'm just going to sit back on my ankles and lean back, lifting up my knees. And if this is super not accessible for you, then don't go this far. Maybe you're like right here and just trying to stretch your ankles and get them a little more flexible. But at the time, it was super chaotic for me. And I remember that move was absolutely not as I manifested. It was so chaotic and almost traumatizing. But as I'm reading this focus field journal, I literally just moved in March into this house. Like, you've never seen this house before because, I mean, besides the 30-day split challenge, because I just moved here. And when I just moved here in March, this move was so insanely easy and fun. I was literally like in the midst of chaos within my brain, and all my friends came over to my house. They packed up my whole house, and I rented a U-Haul, and all of them just moved me to the point where I dropped my U-Haul off, and I got home, and they had made my bed in my new house so that I had a comfortable, cozy place to sleep at my first day in my new house. And so I just want to remind you that the day you plant the seed is not the day that you eat the fruit all the time. Let's meet in a down dog. Take a deep breath in when you get there. A deep breath out. Let's take right foot to the sky. Big breath. Start doing some ankle stretches, flexes, circles. Bend the knee, and we're going to make some hip circles. So the manifestations that I've made in 2016 and 2018 are all coming true nowadays. Switch directions. And so let that be your reminder that all the manifestations that you make today may come true today, or maybe they'll come true in 2 years, or 5 years, or 9 years. Take that foot between the hands. And we're going to meet in Skandasana at the back of the mat. Actually, let's meet at the front of the mat. I'm just going to turn around so that you guys don't get my butt. You can stay here. Same thing you did on the other side. Or you can rock side to side, get a little more movement going. But yeah, change and growth is inevitable. Change is going to happen no matter what. You subscribed. Oh, yay. I'm happy you're here. Thanks for joining. Welcome back to the 30-day split challenge, day 26. Woo. Yeah, you can invite movement back and forth in your Skandasana and make sure that you've got the toes facing up towards the face. Protect those knees. Keep those legs nice and safe. But change is inevitable. Growth isn't inevitable, but it's up to you to choose to grow from all of your situations and all the things that are going on around you. So it's like keeping that positive mindset and not giving up on yourself and not giving up on your goals. Because just because you planted the seed doesn't mean that the fruit is going to come right away. You still need to water it and give it sunlight. And don't dig up your seed as soon as you plant it, right? Because what happens when you dig up your seed? It can't grow. So just keep that in mind. All right, we're going to meet in a wide-legged forward fold. Lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Yesterday we talked about releasing emotions in the body, and we did some fun chopping of energy. If you want to do that again, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. We'll do that again. Imagine that you're chopping down anything that's not serving you. Exhaling. Last one. And just come all the way back into your forward fold. Something that I noticed that I do in the fold that I need to remind myself, and that's why I'm going to remind you, is I have this like crick in my neck. We don't need to have any tension in our neck. Just allow your neck to relax. Maybe you decide to give yourself a neck massage here. Maybe you interlace your fingers and just gently place them on the base of the neck. Not pulling, but just allowing gravity to do the work. Whenever you're ready, we're going to slowly come up to standing, bend the knees, come all the way up to the top. Big inhale, big exhale. And then we're going to place our back foot a couple steps forward. I switched legs, so you don't have to switch legs. And we're going to make sure that our hips are facing what direction? The front of the mat. Yeah. Nice. They said they're starting to love yoga. I'm happy. I'm loving yoga too, and I'm loving the 30-day split challenge. So thanks for joining. There's 30 whole days, and we're on day 26. All right. Big breath here. And we can actually grab opposite elbows. If you grabbed opposite elbows on the other side, go ahead and switch so that you have the other elbow, the wonky elbow. Big inhale here, lead with the heart. And then exhale, fold. Noticing that neck again. Try to keep the neck nice and strong. Breathing in and finding length in your spine. And then on the exhale, maybe deepening your stretch a tiny bit. You'll feel this in the back of the right hamstring. You can place your hands on blocks or on the ground if that's easier for you. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. I know I took us on a little bit of a tangent recently, but I want you to bring your awareness and your energy back onto the mat. Just try to keep your head and your feet in the same place, which is the present. Whenever you're ready, we're going to just plant the hands down. Let's step the left foot back a little bit further. We're going to place our knee down on the ground and take our gaze up to the sky. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to flex the front foot, draw the hips back, half monkey. And we're going to stay in this half monkey for 5 to 10 breaths, just really allowing yourself to breathe into your hamstring, making sure that these feet are flexed up and that you're really feeling this stretch. I'm drawing my right hip back, left hip forward so that my hips are nice and square. If I've got my hips all open, it changes the stretch. And if you want to feel it out, change the positioning of your hips now and notice the difference, like how this is not getting the same stretch as this, right? And if you need to move your foot a little bit further forward so that you get a better stretch, go ahead. If you need to move it further backward, just adjust to your body, because this is your practice at the end of the day. And I'm just here to help you move and feel and breathe. If you want to check if you're doing it right, you can take a cat and a cow with your spine, opening with your heart, drawing your tailbone and head together, and then exhaling, tucking your tailbone, and you'll feel the difference in your stretch. Taking one more nice big inhale here. And one more exhale. Let's go ahead and take that right foot to the back of the mat to meet the left. You're gonna rock your hips side to side, left and right. Maybe take a hip circle if it feels good for you. And take it the other way. All right, you know what's coming. If you're not warm enough, then pause the video, restart, do it again, go for a run, do 20 jumping jacks. I don't know, up to you. Choose your own adventure. You know how to be safe. You know if your body's warm or not, right? Now we're gonna move into our splits. Woo! And today I'm gonna do some over splits. You don't have to have your pelvis all the way on the ground to practice over splits. It just hurts more, honestly. So I don't recommend it for everyone, but if you're really, really trying to get to your split, this is a good way to push yourself to your like edge, to your limit. I always say if you feel pain, sharpshooting pain, always, always, always back out. It's so important to be safe. And the day that you plant the seed is not the day that you eat the fruit. So maybe today you're planting the seed. Maybe today you're setting yourself up for success. Maybe you're pushing yourself to your limit, but not pushing past your limit, right? Or maybe you're like, nah, I feel warm AF. I feel good. I turned my AC off. I'm wearing sweatpants. That was great, Ryan. Let's get into it. And I want to practice feeling what an oversplit feels like. Then yeah, let's do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to put one block in front of your mat. The other leg is going to go backwards and it's going to stay on the ground, kind of similar to how we did in the middle split yesterday. But we're going to be facing both of our hips forward. Something that I highly recommend is making sure that you like have awareness of your hips. Even when I'm doing my split on the ground without the block for over splits, my hips open up. They don't stay square. So during this next 2 minutes, I'm going to be really, really actively focusing on drawing my hips in the direction of square, right? So I want you to focus on that in your splits. Now, if you're like, Ryan, oh my God, there's no way I'm going to do an over split. I can barely even do a split at all. Then do a half split. Go to half monkey, Ardha Hanumanasana, that pose that we just did. This is the prerequisite for a split. And if you're here and you're like, okay, this is starting to feel okay, then you can maybe put your foot a little bit further and be like, all right, this is where I'm at. Like, this is where I'm at. And that's honestly fine. Because you know why? I'm going to say it for like the 99th time of this practice. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. We're 26 days in, so your seed has been planted. And if this is where you are, that's totally fine. It just takes practice. It just takes time. And if you pull your hamstring, it's going to take you way longer to heal, way longer to recover. And then your plant is not going to have no fruit for a long fucking time. So, all right, let's get into our splits. We should be nice and warm. I'm going to put a 2-minute timer on because you know how I get. I'm also going to use blocks because I'm doing over splits, and this is helpful. So choose your own adventure. Whenever you're ready, we're going to place our right foot on the front block. And we're going to go into the split. If you don't want to do the split, all right, I already gave you options. You can do your half split, Ardha Hanuman, right? Half monkey. You can do over split, which I'm about to do, or you can just do regular front split, either or, okay? And we're going to do this 2 minutes each side. So choose your own adventure. Ready? On the count of 3, 2, 1, go. And while you're in this pose, take a look at your back leg. Sometimes I'll find my back leg doing all sorts of crazy things. I want to make sure that it is in the right position. And take a look at your front leg. You might have to shimmy it to make sure that you're going the right way. Notice how my hips are really open here. Like you can see basically both of my cheeks. And if there was lasers on my hips, they'd be facing that way. That means I need to actively do what? Pull my right hip back, my left hip forward, which is like much more hard for me. And then I'm keeping my legs nice and active and strong. I'm actually going to move my blocks up a bit. Once you get in the pose, breathe, asking yourself, where can I soften? We've got less than a minute left. You're doing so good. Maybe with your breaths, you find yourself getting a tiny bit deeper. Trying to keep your torso upright. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. We got about 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Release. Let's just meet with our knees together and you can rock your hips side to side. Honestly, I like front splits better than middle splits. What about you? I'm curious, which one is your favorite? Do you prefer to go the middle split route or do you prefer to go the front split route? All right, let's just shake out our hands, shake out the body. We're going to do it again on the other side. So whenever you're ready, meeting me with your left foot forward, right foot back. When you get there, what are we going to do? We're going to check on our right leg, make sure that it's behind us and that it's in the right position. We're going to make sure that our hips, go ahead and start, that our hips are nice and square. I sometimes allow myself to let my hips become really open and say wow, okay, that's not what I'm looking for. And that's how I know that I need to start activating my legs and drawing my hips, right hip forward, left hip back, right? I can't even tell when I'm doing it the wrong way sometimes because I just feel like I'm doing it right. And so by over exaggerating me doing it wrong, I can remind myself to act right and get my body right and pull my hips into a square with my mat. So when you're getting this pose, asking yourself, where can I soften? Can you soften your shoulders? Can you soften your face? We got about a minute left. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Remembering that all the seeds you've planted over these last 26 days are going to bear fruits in your future. And that all the changes you make lead to growth and expansion. We have about 10 seconds left. And go ahead and release. Coming out slowly and taking our feet together, knees out wide. You can give your feet a nice little massage like a book. And maybe you flap your butterfly wings. Meet me in a comfortable cross-legged seat, bringing your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. We're going to take 3 deep intentional breaths together, filling up the lungs. Exhaling through the mouth. Again, breathing in nice and deep. Exhaling, let the breath go. One more time, biggest breath of the whole day. Pausing at the top. And exhale, sigh it out. I'm so proud of you for showing up for yourself and leaving a space for gratitude for our bodies and for our ability to practice here together. Bring your hands to heart center. The light within me honors, loves, and respects the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for being a part of the 30-day split challenge. I'm so grateful and I'm so proud that you've made it this far. I can't wait to see how flexible you are and how much more flexible you have been getting. We got like 4 more days. So lock the fuck in. Let's finish out strong. Any announcements for tomorrow? The only announcement is on the last day, day 30. Instead of going live at 2 p.m., I'm going to be live at like 8 a.m., which is early as heck for me, but we're going to do it because we're committed. And that's pretty much it. But y'all don't really be showing up live that much anyway. So the ones that you are live here today, I want to say thank you for being here. But yeah. All right. That's pretty much it. Love you so much. See you tomorrow, day 27, same time, same place, 2 p.m. Eastern time, or watch these videos at your own pace. You know why? Because this your shit. All right. Bye.